Well, the Captial Club really, when we came up with the idea, I guess a number of years ago, to have an exclusive club where the executives from the private and the public sector can meet and exchange views in a private, kind of comfortable environment. That was the start of the idea, and it has become really a location where I personally have been involved in a lot of exchanges with other executives in the public and the private sector. It's a meeting place for everybody to meet in. There is no place in Bahrain where you could do that. So I'm glad that the idea has been a success. The club has stunning surroundings. As a matter of fact, most of the time when there are visiting dignitaries, whether in the private or the public sector, they come in. I know myself and a lot of my colleagues in industry bring the guests to the Captial Club. The views are stunning in the evenings. The club is well furnished, well decorated, and frankly, I think the club has got some of the best food and beverage cuisine that you can find in the island. So it's also a great culinary experience for visitors. The real estate sector in Bahrain has suffered a big blow at the end of the global economic crisis, 2009. And it's remained stagnant for a couple of years. 2012, 2013 were kind of stagnant years. But amazingly, from 2014, we started seeing a recovery of that sector. Construction in the residential and the commercial sectors have picked up. Prices have started going up, which is always the indicator of the increased demand in the markets. I believe that the real estate sector in Bahrain has recovered and is growing at a steady pace. Will continue to do so, I think, in the next few years. And I believe that that's a healthy growth. I think there's less speculative buying and selling, which is always a great indicator of sustainability of the growth. Otherwise, the bubble will burst at some point in time. So no, it's doing extremely well. We've grown our we had about 6 or 7 real estate sales people. We're now at almost 20. So that just tells you the increase of demand. And it's a great investment opportunity from outside. A lot of outside investors have come back and are investing quite heavily into the residential and the commercial sectors.
You're talking about the foreign investments?
The foreign investments coming into the country.
So the low oil prices factor will encourage more inward foreign investments?
It's not so directly, I think, related to it. The lower oil prices will first and foremost affect government spending, because most governments have budgeted at about $100. Now most governments have had to cut down on their spending and shelf a lot of large projects, which eventually filters down into the private sector in terms of spending. But when we're talking about real estate, foreign investors coming in, that's actually wealth that is sitting somewhere around the world that is looking for a home to grow. When there's uncertainty in currencies, when there's uncertainty in the markets, people turn usually to real estate, and particularly in low interest rate environments. When interest rates are low, everybody moves to real estate because the returns are better. So we're focusing on the wealth that exists around the world that is looking at Bahrain as a prime location to invest in real estate in. It's a stable economy. It's geographically well located, so it makes a lot of sense. So I don't think the low oil prices are going to affect that much the current growth rate of the real estate sector.